Good Saturday morning. I'm Heather Kovar. We have your day's top stories straight ahead. Right now, this is a live look over downtown Troy using our Freihofer Skycam network. Chilly cold last Saturday of February out there. Let's get right over to meteorologist Craig Gold for that weekend forecast.
Yeah,
right?
you know, the ever so, like subtle nudge, like, hey, winter's not over just yet. We found that out yesterday, didn't we? With about 6 to 8 inches of snow for a good chunk of the area, including the capital region areas north. A little bit more up over parts of the western Adirondacks, but 8 to 10 there, and a small little spot over southern Vermont there in the Green Mountains, winding up with 8 to 10. You went further south, a little bit less, 4 to 5, as we had a little bit of sleet and freezing rain mix on in. But overall, it was a plowable, shovelable snow. But it was easy to plow and easy to shovel, and that was the good news. A light, fluffy snow. Not good for making snowballs, but certainly easy on the back, right? Temperatures this morning, brutal. We're looking at single digits from the capital region south. Then we have some lower teens over the Catskills, and then we're below zero once we get to Saratoga Springs up to Glens Falls. 12 below right now at the airport in Glens Falls. It is 1 below Saratoga Springs. North Creek up by Gore Mountain. Some good skiing up there right now. It is 7 below. Your forecast today, we should warm up considerably to about 30, so it won't feel that bad out there. A little more cloud cover building into the afternoon. Weak little disturbance coming through, but it'll come through dry. Tomorrow, though, an Arctic cold front coming on through. Obviously, that means a reinforcing shot of some colder air, but we'll talk about what else it means for the rest of the weekend, and we'll talk about next week as well when I come back in a bit. Heather.
All right, Craig, looking forward to that. Thank you so much. Well, this morning, the area is still working to clean up from yesterday's snowfall. There are still snow emergencies in place. In the town of Brunswick, there's no parking on streets until noon today. In Cohoes, all vehicles must be on the odd side of the street until 7 tonight. The snow emergency in East Greenbush ends at 8 this morning, and in Hoosick Falls, snow emergency rules go into effect at 9 a.m. Rules remain in Rensselaer and Rotterdam and other places across our region. We have a list on our website, cbs6albany.com. And the cleanup continues in Troy today. Take a look right here. This was the scene in the Collar City as the sun was setting yesterday, with roads still not yet fully clean, but you see they're working. The mayor tells us crews were working throughout the night to plow and salt roads. Residents were urged to clear snow from their walkways and driveways to help with the cleanup. And this morning, Albany International Airport still has a few cancellations and delays after nearly 30 departing flights were canceled yesterday due to the storm. The airport reported about 6 inches total of snow Friday afternoon and says crews were out in shifts clearing off runways since that snow started. Flight schedules are largely back to normal. They expect a full return to normal operations today. Anyone who missed flights can check with their airline about free travel waivers. Developing overnight, 4 missing hikers are rescued from the snow in Massachusetts. Massachusetts State Police tell us they got a call about 4 missing people on Mount Greylock. A woman, her 2 young kids, and an elderly man. Police say the group called from the mountain until their phone died, but miraculously, authorities rescued them and brought them all down the mountain on snowmobiles. Officials say none are seriously hurt besides being very cold. 7:03 on the Saturday morning, Russian troops advanced into Ukraine's capital this morning as city officials urged residents to take shelter. Amid reports of hundreds of casualties, along with buildings, bridges, and schools destroyed, President Zelensky says he expects the fighting to intensify. There's also growing signs Russia will seek to overthrow Ukraine's government. That's as U.S. officials pledge more help to Ukraine. They say Ukrainian forces have slowed the Russian attack with considerable resistance, though that could change quickly.
This night will be very difficult, and the enemy will use all available forces to break the resistance of Ukrainians. This night we have to stand ground. The fate of Ukraine is being decided right now.
We're very actively engaged in those efforts to help them better defend themselves through both lethal and non-lethal assistance.
Ukraine's military successfully shot down a Russian transport plane capable of carrying more than 100 paratroopers. The Russian military laid claim to the southern city of Melitopol today, but it's unclear how much of the country is still under Ukrainian control and how much territory has been seized by Russian forces. Gas prices continue to rise amid war in Eastern Europe. The national average price for a gallon of regular is up to $3.57, according to AAA. That's a 3-cent increase since Thursday. A month ago, gas was $3.33 on average. A year ago, it was $2.67. President Biden is aware Americans are feeling the pinch in their wallets. Prices are expected to surge to $4 a gallon due to the Russian invasion, as a barrel of oil now costs more than $100. For the latest developments in this story and our other top stories, download the CBS 6 News app. You're going to find it for free in the App Store or Google Play. New York is one of dozens of states, each getting a cut of a $26 billion lawsuit. This after drug maker Johnson & Johnson and 3 other major drug distributors struck a deal over their roles in the opioid crisis. The money will bolster efforts to combat the crisis, such as treatment and drugs that prevent overdoses. But as part of the deal, the drug companies are admitting no wrongdoing. Dozens of local governments across the country will also get money out of the settlement as well. The CDC releasing new guidance on mask wearing indoors, including schools, where New York still stands on the issue. Plus how the pandemic impacted eating disorders and what's being done to help those in recovery.
Well, if you ran out of coffee, the good news is all you have to do is open your door up to wake you right up with these temperatures. We're looking at single digits to some spots below 0. Do we warm up anytime soon? I've got your 7-day forecast on the other side of the break. See you then.
7:10 on this Saturday morning. Here's a live look over Troy using our Fraunhofer Skycam network. Well, at least for now, it's clear. You can see Albany there in the background. Meteorologist Craig Gold is going to let you know how your weekend's going to wrap up in just a few minutes. New York Governor Kathy Hochul says not just yet when it comes to lifting the mask mandate in schools. This comes after the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released new guidance on mask wearing indoors, including in schools. The CDC says most Americans now live in areas where healthy people don't necessarily need masks in indoor places, as long as the coronavirus poses only a low or medium threat to hospitals. Hochul says her office is evaluating the new guidance and will coordinate with schools on any changes. The CDC says it's adjusting the metric for 2 main reasons. More people are vaccinated, and the Omicron variant symptoms are comparatively mild. Governor Hochul has appeared to put off ending New York State's mask mandate in classrooms, but giving a promising response for those hoping this change in CDC guidance could shape New York's rules. The governor says, quote, "We are evaluating the CDC's new guidance and we will update New Yorkers on potential changes as we work through the details and coordinate with all stakeholders in our school communities across our state," end quote. It's been expected of the governor to re-examine the school mask mandate after many students return from vacation next week. We will keep an eye on developments there with this new CDC guidance. A new study published in The Lancet details the toll the COVID-19 pandemic is taking on children worldwide. Researchers say since March of 2020, at least 5 million children under the age of 18 have lost a parent or caregiver to the virus, putting them at increased risk of poverty, abuse, and mental illness. Harvard health researchers say eating disorders, especially in young people, skyrocketed in this pandemic. As medical reporter Liz Bonus explains, it's leading those in recovery to let others know they're not alone.